The Lord bless you in the mighty name of Jesus. We just finished a live broadcast on YouTube now, and I told them I was going to do the teaching on the prophetic code 4 immediately after the broadcast. So we did the prophetic code 3 session, I think last 4 days, and we have done other codes and different teachings on the prophetic on this channel. For those of you watching for the first time, there are a lot of teachings on this channel that will cause you to grow in hearing the voice of God and seeing in the spirit. Practical ways of going about it, and the grace of God will speak for you. In the mighty name of Jesus. Prophetic code 4. This code, I refer to it as the code of touching, or you can call it the virtue code, the code of touching, or the virtue code. In Mark chapter 16, Jesus Christ speaking, he said, "And this sign shall follow them that believe. In my name they shall cast out devils. They shall heal the sick. They will lay hands on the sick, and the sick will recover." The lay hands there is a prophetic code. Is a code of touch. The code of touch. And if you see Luke chapter 8 verse 45, Jesus Christ said, "Who touched me?" A lot of people were touching him, and a woman with an issue of blood came from behind and touched him, and the fountain dried up on the spot. And he knew something happened. He said, "Who touched me?" Now the prophetic code of touch comes in play in certain categories, certain areas, because there are certain atmosphere where some people's file or heaven will not open for you to prophesy or for them to receive until you touch them. There are people that will not receive in a service until they are touched by the man of God, until the prophetic person touched them. And that woman used that code. And there is a reason why she was able to use that code, even though she was not a prophet or a prophetic person. Now, the prophetic, the code of touch, or the virtue code, is more effective when the receiver has faith, when the receiver's heart is open. All right, so when you are in a service as a prophetic person and you want to pray for a fellow, you need to be very sure that that person is in the spirit. That person believes in God. The person right there believes in the service there. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, the person is serious when you are taking prayer. The person is very serious praying. It shows the level of belief, of expectation of the person. In that case, when you are not seeing directly for the person, by touch you can get to see. Because by touching, two things can happen. Number one, by touching a fellow, a virtue can leave you into the person. And by identifying the virtue that leaves you, you will identify the message that God is saying concerning the person. For instance, walking towards a person that is having a migraine, and the moment you placed your hand, a virtue left you, and the virtue is to heal headache. You know immediately it's a virtue to heal headache, very severe headache. You know that this is migraine. You cannot tell the person you have been having migraine, but God just healed you now. You see, it's a prophetic message. It's another way God passed message even without speaking. You see now, virtue was what did the job, but you had the message. Are you getting it now? You got the message because of the kind of virtue that is. That's number one. Then the second thing that can happen when you lay your hands or you touch a person using that code is you can enter into the experience of that person. That is second thing. Sometimes there are some persons where maybe the person you want to pray for is having a challenge with lust, with the spirit of lust. The moment you place your hand on the person, you felt that you will start feeling that atmosphere of lust. So that is the person's major challenge. I say that you're already getting messages what is wrong in the person's life. Lust has been the order of the, you have gotten messages already. All right. Sometimes if the person is having pain in one particular place, as you place your hand, you feel that pain, the sharp place, the same place the person is feeling it, you get into that experience. So one of them is the person virtue entering and you entering the experience. One of the things that is very vital you need to take note of in this code of touch, is that you need to be prayerful if you must often touch or lay hands. All right? You need to be prayerful if you must often touch or lay hands. Now, virtue, the more virtue leaves a believer, the more reduced the power in him becomes. He needs refilling, and that refilling happens in the place of prayer. Jesus Christ, he ministered to the crowd, and then he went to the mountain to pray. This time around, he didn't tell the disciples, go with me, because they were not administering deliverance when he was doing that. So he said, you can be going, I'm coming. And when they were going on the sea, and he walked on the water to meet them. But he had to go first and refill back. A lot of ministers don't do this. And this is why some persons who were flowing in the prophetic before have fallen from that gift. They have fallen from that grace. Because they were so busy accepting invitation that they forgot the place of prayer, the place of fellowship, going to retreat, the place of retreat. They forgot the place. So they keep releasing virtue until they get empty. And so all of a sudden, they were operating the prophetic before, but now nothing is happening again. Because this code, if you must use it effectively, then you must make sure your prayer life is very effective. I know of an apostle who went to do crusade, and after the crusade, he went blind. He was carried from the crusade ground. He was carried home from the crusade ground. You don't just lay hands. Paul the apostle was speaking to Timothy, I think in 1 Timothy chapter 5. He said to him, don't be quick in laying on of hands, and do not partake in another man's sin. Keep yourself pure. Do not be quick in laying on of hands, except you are filled enough. I know people who, by laying hands, they contact the spirit of lust immediately. Not that they felt it and prophet, they've contacted it. So just make sure this code is very vital. But you know, this is why it's good that prophetic people are prayer people. You pray very well. All right? You want to hear, you need to be a prayer person. If you must flow in this, virtue can flow without a touch, but virtue flow more by touch. I get me now? Virtue can flow without touch, but more virtue flow by touch. All right? I declare the blessing of God is released upon you. In the name of Jesus, I declare grace will speak for you. The Lord will open your eyes and cause you to operate in the prophetic. In the mighty name of Jesus. As you utilize this code, your doors will open. So remember what I said about this particular code. The receiver needs to believe for their heaven to be open, either to receive a blessing or for you to prophesy to them. The receiver needs to have an open heart. Very important. This is the reason why a lot of people, sick people, pray for, don't receive healing. They don't believe. Jesus Christ did not do much miracle in his hometown because many people that were coming with doubts. They were coming to test him if he really has power. So not miracle was done. So you need to know this. The Lord will bless you. The Lord will keep you. In the name of Jesus. The Lord bless you. You are blessed in Jesus' mighty name. I will see you in the next teaching. God bless you. Shalom.